So in this lesson, we're creating a function that's going to delay the execution until a specified wait time. So in this case, we're going to be waiting to see when the window is resized, and we're going to run after half a second, 500 milliseconds, and we're going to output the resized time into the console using the window event listener. So that's coming up in this lesson. Got my app.js file linked to HTML output here on the right hand side. So we're going to be creating a debounce function, implementing a function that delays the execution of a function until specified time has elapsed. So let's go ahead and we're going to create that function code. So we're going to just call it debounce, passing in two parameters. So that's going to be the function and the delay values. And let's go ahead and we're going to let the timeout ID. So we need to capture that timeout ID. So we need to create that as well. And then return back a value of the function. I should have a space there with all of the arguments as the parameters. And we want to clear the timeout. And this is where we can set the timeout ID that we're holding. And let's add in a condition that we're going to clear out that timeout ID. So that means that if we do have a timeout ID, then we're going to clear the timeout ID. So just adding that in there so that we have the condition there that we're returning it back. And then here is also where we can use the timeout ID. So selecting the timeout ID and setting the timeout that we want to use. And the timeout value that we're going to be using is going to be delay. And then within the set timeout, we've got the function. And then once again, get the arguments there as the parameters that we're returning back. And that actually should be the 3 dots. So that gives us the function. So now we're able to test the function. So let's create a test. So on resize, and we can console log out. So resized. And then here we can do the new date to local time string. And then let's add the event listener on the window. So add the event listener on resize. We're going to return back the function debounce and pass in the value for on resize 500. So now whenever we resize, we can see that we're getting that output there of when the window was resized by using the debounce function there. So that's how you can set a function that delays the execution of the function after a specified time period. And the resizing is an ideal way to test it because we want to see whenever after the resizing is complete, then we want to get the time that it was resized.